anxieties,
pride,
abuse,
neglect,
denial,
confusion,
pornography,
finances,
emotions,
drugs,
forsaken,
despair,
afflictions,
foreclosure,
depression,
rejection,
overwhelm,
anger,
bitterness,
temptations,
stubbornness,
debt,
misunderstood,
resentment,
lies,
overworked,
unfaithfulness,
divorce,
bankruptcy,
self-esteem,
frustrations,
fear,
peer pressure,
pregnancy,
job loss,
bullies,
popularity,
alcohol,
sickness,
death,
famine,
crime,
unloved,
loneliness,
unfulfilled,
jealousy,
worries,
lust,
hatred,
hopelessness,
broken-hearted,
envious,
nowhere to turn.
addictions.
and doubts.
All we like sheep have gone astray, we have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he openeth not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken.
Walking on the road to Jerusalem, the time had come to sacrifice again. And my two small sons, they walked beside me down the road. The reason that they came was to watch the Lamb. And they said, Daddy, Daddy, well, what will we see there? There's so much that we don't understand. And so I told them of Moses and Father Abraham. Then I said, dear children, watch the Lamb. But there will be so many in Jerusalem today. We must be sure this little lamb doesn't run away. And I told them of Moses and Father Abraham. Then I said, dear children, watch the lamb. But when we reached the city, I knew something must be wrong. There were no joyful worshipers there, no joyful worship song. And I stood there with my children in the midst of angry men. Then I heard a crowd cry out, let's crucify him. Get away, forced to play in this drama, a part I did not want to play. Why upon this day were men condemned to die? And why were we standing right here where soon they would pass by? I looked and I said, even now they come. The first one cried for mercy, the people gave him none. The second one was violent, and he was arrogant and loud. I still can hear his angry voice screaming, the crowd. Then someone said, "There's Jesus." And I scarce believed my eyes. A man so badly beaten, he barely looked alive. Blood poured from his body, from the thorns on his brow, running down the cross and falling to the ground. I watched him as he struggled, and I watched him when he fell. The cross came down upon his back. The crowd began to yell, and in that moment I felt such agony. In that moment I felt such loss, until a Roman soldier grabbed my arm and screamed, "You! Carry his cross!" At first I tried to resist him, but his hand reached for his soul. And so I knelt and I took the cross from the Lord. I put it on my shoulder, and we started down the street. And the blood that he'd been shedding was running down my cheek. They led us to Golgotha, and they drove nails deep in his feet and hands. And on the cross I heard him pray, "Father, forgive them." Never have I seen such love in any other eye. Into thy hands I commit my spirit, he prayed, and then he died. I stood for what seemed like years, lost all sense of time. Then I felt these little hands holding on to mine. My children stood there weeping, and I heard the oldest say, "Father, please forgive us." The lamb ran away. Daddy, Daddy, what have we seen here? There's so much that we don't understand. So I took them in my arms, and we turned and faced the cross. And I said, "Dear children, watch the Lamb."
And the angel answered and said unto the women, "Fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Jesus, which was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen as he said. Come see the place where the Lord lay. And go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead, and behold, he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him. Lo, I have told you."
gates and doors were barred and all the windows fastened down. Spent the night in sleeplessness and rose at every sound. Half in hope of sorrow and half in fear the day would find the soldiers breaking through to drag us all away. Just before the sunrise I heard something at the wall. The gate began to rattle and a voice began to call. I hurried to the window, looked down into the street, expecting swords and torches and the sound of soldiers' feet. There was no one there but Mary, so I went down to let her in. John stood there beside me as she told me where she'd been. She said they moved him in tonight and none of us knows where. The stone's been rolled away now, his body is in there. We both ran towards the garden and John ran on ahead. We found the stone and empty tomb just the way Mary said. But the winding sheet they wrapped him in was just an empty shell. And how and where they'd taken him was more than I could tell. Something strange had happened there, just what I did not know. John believed a miracle, but I just turned to go. Circumstance and speculation couldn't lift me very high, 'cause I'd seen them crucify him, then I saw him die. Back inside the house again, the guilt and anguish came. Everything I promised him just added to my shame. When at last it came to choices, I denied I knew his name. And even if he was alive, it wouldn't be the same. Suddenly the air was filled with a strange and sweet perfume. Light that came from everywhere drove shadows from the room. Jesus stood before me with his arms held open wide. And I fell down to my knees and I just clung to him and cried. He raised me to my feet, and as I looked to his eyes, love was shining out from him like sunlight from the skies. Guilt and my confusion disappeared in sweet release. And every fear I ever had just melted into
I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined unto me and heard my cry. He brought me up also out of an horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my goings. And he hath put a new song in my mouth, even praise unto our God. Many shall see it and fear, and shall trust in the Lord.
Late one night she started to cry and thought he ain't coming home. She was tired of the lies, tired of the fight, but she didn't want to see him go. She fell on her knees and said, I haven't prayed since I was young, but Lord above, I need a miracle. Well, no matter who you are, and no matter what you've done, there will come a time when you can't make it on your own. And in your hour of desperation, know you're not the only one praying, Lord above, I need a miracle. I need a miracle. Lost his job and all he had in the fall of '09. Now he feared the worst, that he would lose his children and his wife. So he drove down deep into the woods and thought he'd end it all. Prayed, Lord above, I need a miracle. Well, no matter who you are, and no matter what you've done, there will come a time when you can't make it on your own. And in your hour of desperation, know you're not the only one praying, Lord above, I need a miracle. I need a miracle. On the radio to hear a song for the last time. He didn't know what he was looking for or even what he'd find. The song he heard, it gave him hope and strength to carry on. And on that night they found a miracle. Well, no matter who you are, and no matter what you've done, there will come a time when you can't make it on your own. And in your hour of desperation, know you're not the only one praying, Lord above, I need a miracle. I need a miracle.